Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter. I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses in New York. My hair looks nuts. I gotta cut it soon. So I got a question about inbound leads. So let's talk a little about inbound leads. Maybe we need to do more than one video on it. So obviously an inbound lead is where a lead is looking for you, as opposed to an outbound lead where you're sort of poking them. Obviously inbound leads are better. They're looking for what you have, which is the ability to buy a property. Outbound leads, a lot of them are going to tell you they don't even have a property, and if they have property, they don't want to sell it. So let's talk about some basics of inbound leads. So I think let me think about the different ways of inbound leads. I could think of SEO, search engine optimization leads. If somebody comes to your site organically and clicks on your, either calls you from your website or fills out a web form from your website, or maybe does a chat bot on your website. There's PPC, which is pay-per-click, which is the same thing. But they clicked on an ad and you paid for it, and that got them to your site. So that's SEO, PPC. What else is there? Other leads, I guess a referral from somebody who bought from you before. That's an inbound lead. And then there's mail, which is like a quasi. You got to mail out. I got to send out a lot of mail, but then somebody who calls from the mail is an inbound lead in theory. But that's sort of a hybrid. So obviously, you don't have to be a genius to know that an inbound lead is going to be better than an outbound lead, because a lot of the outbound leads, as I said, are no interest in your product, and somebody that's looking for you is looking for you, so that's better. But there's a big cost with it, right? So certainly mail is expensive. SEO is not cheap. It's nice to think I can just show up there without doing anything, but you can't. Google's not going to rank you high without spending money for doing a lot of SEO optimization. That's redundant because it's search engine optimization. That's what SEO stands for. And pay-per-click for sure is expensive. So I'm actually experimenting with pay-per-click now. I did it for a couple of years, a bunch of years ago. And let me turn here. I can't use my Waze when I'm recording this, so I got to sort of think where I'm going. And I don't really know where I'm going, but we'll figure it out. So it's important to understand that, of course, inbound leads are better than outbound leads, but they all come with a significant cost, right? Mail is really expensive. PPC is really expensive, and that's how it works, right? And the worst part about New York is that the CCC, the cash conversion cycle, which is the difference in time, the time between when you spend money on marketing and when you finally get paid, is tremendous in New York, because the entire transaction takes a very, very long time. Now, what that means, besides the fact that you've got to invest a lot of money into things, is that I turn here? No, is that it's very hard to know if any lead marketing channel, inbound or outbound, is working for a long time. To give you, I've said this many times before, when I started doing PPC the first time, about maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I wasn't just doing PPC, I was doing mail, all kinds of outbound marketing. It took me 8 months to see a dime from it, and I was spending well over $20,000 a month. So that's a long time. That's a $160,000 investment. Now, during that time, I got leads and I got some contracts, but I didn't see any money back for a long time. So, and that is probably pretty quick for what's happening now. Now I think the cash conversion cycle is even longer. I think it's significantly longer than that. So it's important to understand that no matter what marketing channel you're doing in New York, you probably need 12 to 18 months to even evaluate whether it worked or not. Which, when I tell those people from other states, they think of me, they look at me like I'm from outer space, like they can't even imagine doing it. But it's one of the double-edged swords of New York, in that there are very, very few competitors here, because most people aren't going to stick with something for that long. And I can tell you, I have students that don't stick with it long enough to see if something works. That happens all the time. And what you really need to do is to stick with it. The complicated part is if you screw something up, you don't know you screwed it up until you dumped a ton of money into it. That's the problem. But the things that most people are afraid of, so I get people saying, well, maybe my mail piece was off. The mail piece doesn't really matter. Or maybe with PPC, things can be off, right? You can mismanage the campaign completely. Your landing page can be bad where it's not converting. Your landing page can be bad. Your keywords can be bad. Your bidding strategy can be bad. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in PPC, so it's complicated. For SEO, I guess you can just do it wrong, but the truth is Google changes their algorithm all the time, so it's not an easy thing to really be on top of SEO. PPC is a little more easier to be on top of, because basically you're going to get clicks, which are conversion. You're going to get clicks. Some of those clicks, which you pay for every click, are going to convert. So either the one of the three ways I just told you, either they call you from a number that's on your ad, or they fill out a web form, or they give their information via chatbot. Any one of those three ways is a conversion, which means you've gotten their information and they are a lead. But the important part is you can see it, right? So I'm spending money on thousands of dollars right now on pay-per-click, and some of my leads stink. So I have to then tweak my keywords and my negative keywords to make sure that I'm not getting bad leads. And that's how you watch it. Now with SEO, it can take a long time to really see those kind of good results. So what's important to understand is that because of the length of time in New York that it takes, and because, I mean, it does suck a little bit that it takes so long between when I spend money on marketing and when I get paid, but that does prevent a lot of competition. There's very little competition in New York, number one. Number two, a lot of people give up early, so they'll go and they'll get some leads and they just won't follow up with them, or they'll get leads and they won't do all the things necessary to continue to market to those leads. And when that happens, to me anyway, that's where I'm going. I'm supposed to go now. Oyster Bay Road, Old Country Road. Yeah, I think I turned here. So that is in some way comforting to me. Now I understand fully that it takes a lot of investment of both, a lot of resources, not just money, but also time, into any marketing campaign in New York. But there's comfort in knowing that very often, I'd say 2/3 of the time, when I'm making an offer to a lead, I'm the only one making an offer. And when I tell that to people in other parts of the country, especially the hot parts like, Phoenix or Dallas or Vegas, they almost can't believe it, because they're usually on a line of 50 people, and they're very, very often making offers with other people and competing. So there's less competition in New York. We make more money here than in the places I just mentioned. You just have to be able to stick it out on your marketing for a long time. And whether that's putting in money or time, right? I always recommend to people that they start with outbound marketing because it's cheap, right? To go cold call is cheap. It's free, right? Everybody's got unlimited calling on their phone. It's not free, but you got to get a list. You got to buy a list, and you got to skip trace the list. That usually costs around $1,000, less than $1,500 for sure. And then you can call it for free. You can text it for free. I advise people to use a Google Voice number because I don't want people knowing your cell phone. But those things are free. And if you want to text significantly, or you want to be more efficient, you can spend $100 a month on a predictive dialer like Mojo, Call Tools, or Ready Mode, which used to be Zen Call. Or if you want to text, you're probably better off spending money on texting, a texting software like Launch Control or Lead Sherpa or something like that. But, and I got a call. But you don't have to do that, right? So you can, and then even those are not that expensive. Those are $100 a month, a few $100 a month. So it's important to be clear that there's going to be costs. It's going to take time, but you have to take the good with the bad in New York, because in New York, even though the cash conversion cycle, I hope I'm not in the wrong place, cash conversion cycle is so long, the truth is you got much less competition, and I think I got to pull over because I don't know where I'm going. Much less competition, and you have this unique ability to be making offers by yourself. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in, what are you interested in? Interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please click the likes, the thumbs up. The likes really help me. And I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what to say, so please keep the comments coming. You can ask a comment about anything. You can ask a question about anything. It does not have to be about the video you watched at all. I try to get to my comments within 24 to 48 hours. And if it's something simple, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something that I've covered before, I'll send links to a video or videos on it. I sent somebody 2 links to a video today. They asked about getting a real estate license. I probably could have sent them 20 videos on it because I've done so many videos on it. And if it's something new, I'll do a new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it.